Hello, and this is Sam from Typewriter Minutes. After an oil spill, wildlife conservationists bring in birds from the wild, clean off all the gooey, grimy, disgusting, oily gunk, tenderly love and care for the animals, and then release them again so that they can live a happy, lovely new life. We at Typewriter Minutes kind of do the same thing for typewriters. We bring them in from the wild, clean off all the gooey, grimy, disgusting, oily junk off of them, and then we tenderly love and care for them, and then release them back into the wild. Today we are showing you a review of a 1957 Remington Quiet-Riter. Now, if you're only interested in the review, then you can skip all the way to the end. But for now, we're going to show you how we completely took it apart, cleaned it, put it back together, and voila.
This is Eli of Typewriter Minutes. We brought this typewriter in from the wild, also known as Goodwill. We carefully opened the box with a knife. Don't stab anybody. We took out all the wrapping.
Make sure there's not a bowling ball on there.
Carefully lift out the case. Inspect the case for any damage. And then open up the case to see the typewriter. Take all the wrapping off. And then inspect the typewriter for any damage. And test all the functions, including the keys. When we started to take the machine apart, we started with the platen. When we took the platen out, we could see all the disgusting oil and eraser shavings that were in there. Next, we took the feed roller assembly out. When we cleaned it, it was still really soft. Next, we took all the other parts and panels off the machine, taking careful notes of where all the screws went. Here are more panels coming off. We took off the feet. They were still nice and soft. More notes on where everything went. And here it is, ready to be blown out and chemically cleaned. We cleaned the platen with our super secret cleaning agent. We're not authorized to tell you what it is. And the platen was still very soft and had lots of life left in it. Next, we had to fix the ribbon-color-selector holes. Notice that there are no colors there, just holes. On our 50 and 51 Remingtons, instead of holes, they had little dimples filled with paint, as you can see here. We have another Remington from roughly 1957, and it doesn't have dimples, it has actual holes, as you can see here.
What's behind the holes?
Behind the holes is a little plastic plate with the colored dots on it. We've noticed that online, a lot of these plates are missing, which is why you see the holes. Here's how we fixed it. We got a piece of felt tape, and then we put it behind the holes. You can see it under the ribbon selector color thing. Then we got testers paints, the colors black, white, and red. And anyone who made models growing up will recognize these. Then we tilted the machine up on its backside and put tiny drops of paint in the holes, making sure not to get any on the green paint.
Then we let it dry. And we owe a big tip of the hat to who?
Typewriter Justice.
For the tips on the tester's paints.
The next problem was with the variable line space button. When you push it in, the platen is supposed to move freely without any clicks. But for us, it just made a scratching sound. When we took the platen assembly apart, we noticed that one of the platen clutch jaws, those two rectangular things there, was seized up and stuck. There was also a bunch of gunky goo in there, as my assistant shows here. We put some plaster on the clutch jaw, let it soak for a while,
Gently tapped it out.
and then put the clutch jaw in some plaster and let it soak for a while, and then we sanded off the rest of the gunk and rust. We put on a nice light layer of plaster before reassembling.
All right. Clicky. Smooth as butter. Clicky. Smooth as butter.
We cleaned all the body panels, put it back together, and then we did two things. One of them was we put on a fresh ribbon, which we covered in a video. The other one was we made the on-feed adjustment for the lowercase and uppercase letters, which we also did in a video. You can see those on our YouTube channel. And here's the final product. We're going to show you a few of the features.
Okay, first on this side, you got the right platen knob. We have the paper release lever right here. This is the carriage release lever up on top. Allows the carriage to slide back and forth. And then down under here, if you can go down, Mr. Cameraman, is the carriage lock lever. In normal circumstances, it should be to the left so that this can slide back and forth. When you're ready to put it in the case, you move it over to the right and then gently move the carriage in, and it'll stop at the halfway point so you can put it in the case. Now, something to be aware of is that sometimes this button is in the left position, and the carriage, when it goes all the way back over here, might accidentally get pushed to the right. And so if you're trying to take the carriage to the right and it's stuck, it could be because this lever is in the wrong position. So you push it all the way back in, push this lever to the left so that it doesn't get stuck on this thing right here, and then it should come right back out.
On the back, it's got this cool Remington Rand logo.
And on this side, you have another carriage release lever up on top, and then two buttons here. This is the variable line space button, and then the line locator lever. They kind of do the same thing. They both allow the platen to move freely, but when you use the lever and move the platen, it remembers where you were on the clicky scale. And then you have a carriage return lever right here.
On the top, you have the margin buttons and the paper scale lever.
I'll slide left and right. You have a paper bail, which comes up and out, which is kind of a nice feature. Under the hood, you can see the original spools. Here's the ribbon reverse mechanism. You can change the direction these are pulling anytime you want by flipping the lever. Otherwise, when it gets to the end of the spool, it reverses by itself. Down here you have the color selector knob. And
Now we're going to do a quick type test. First, on the black setting, the quick red fox jumped over the lazy brown dogs. And on the red setting, now is the time for all good men to come to the aid of their country.
lettering. We'll do a quick alignment test. Back in the black setting. Middle of the page. And on the right. Nice and aligned. Backspace button works.
Finally, over on the right is the...
Touch control lever.
If you have little dainty hands, you might want to put it on number 1.
If you have big, beefy hands, you might want to put it on number 3. And if you're just right, you might want to put it on number 2.
Okay, and then over on this side is the tab set and clear buttons. If you want to set a tab, just push S for set. And then now when you tab over, tabs over to your settings. And if you want to clear the tab settings, you just tab over, clear, tab over, clear, tab over, clear. Now, back up, Mr. Cameraman. All the tabs should be cleared. Okay, we'll finish up with some of our likes and dislikes of the 1957 Remington Quiet-Riter. What are some of the things that we like?
They're built like tanks, and they type like a dream. Plus, you can find them online for really cheap prices.
And some of the dislikes?
There's no paper support arms on the back. The
So-
paper support arms are the things that on some machines you can lift up so the paper doesn't just flop back.
Doesn't have those.
So there's no bright and shiny colors. There's only earth tones.
So if you're looking for bright blue or bright pink or bright yellow, you'll have to look somewhere else or paint it yourself, because these come in green, various shades of green, tan, brown, and that's it.
Be sure to link, share, like, and subscribe. But for now, that's all. Bye. But wait, there's more. What's a typewriter review without looking at the case?
So here's the case. These have a nice plastic rubber rim on it that helps protect the fabric in the middle. These come in various shades of felt. This one's orange, some of them are green. Here's the latches that hold it in place. Latch is nice and secure. Looks like this was kept in somebody's attic. There's a little bit of, I don't know, light paint dots on there, like it got overspray or something. Barely noticeable. The case is in really good shape. Secures it nicely. A little bit more paint on there. We'll try to get that off. The case is in really good shape.
Now we're really done. Thanks for joining us. Be sure to link, share, like, and subscribe.